Alright, hello everyone. Here we're back for more Golf Clash tutorials here. This is the Winter Slope tournament, and it's going to be for Expert Division. So let's take a look here. Jump right in a bracket. And I believe the first hole is a par 3. And what I typically do on this one is the quarterback. You're really going to really have accuracy as a premium here. If you need more guidance, you should be able to go to Royal Open. It's going to be a different wind, but it's going to kind of show you a very good overview of my shot for this hole. It is a very good shot to use, but it's going to be a different adjustment because the wind is significantly different this time around. So the way that we're going to have to do this is just going to be a little bit modified. You don't even really need a Kingmaker. I won't even use all the side spin on it because of the way that the wind is pointed. It's actually going to help with the wind effect. Push the ball more towards the right, so you won't need curl here. You won't need to use all of your side spin. You'll just let the natural wind effect kind of take the ball. But what I try to do is I try to get the ball rolling smoothly on the fairway first before it comes to the corner where you see the fringe and all that. And what that does is it usually gets a very truer rollout, and it actually goes towards the hole. Here you can see how it's going to come up, and that's what you want to avoid. Okay, it's just not as consistent. There'll be times that you'll bring it in like that and it might actually work out perfect. This isn't one of those. That had no chance. It's always going to drop low. So what I recommend you doing, and it can be done with a Quasar. I can even save my, if you're thrifty on Kingmakers right now, I'm just going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to use somewhere around the 3 to 3.5. And you can see even with a QB8, I should have, and you can see all these deflecting points here. They're still heading towards the green here. So if I set up here right at, this looks like it's right where it's about to go into power. So this is what, and what I'm going to use is, look, you can see that I'm offsetting slightly my wind direction. I'm just going to go close to 1 per ring, so right around 10 rings here. And you can see that I angled it just slightly as well. Didn't want that great ball, but let's just see how it plays out anyway. Here you can see we're getting it a lot smoother. Nope, not quite what I wanted. It needed to come in just a little bit softer, because you can see that last little bit of delay, it's going to get it to stop. So it's actually going to check up. You need to get it on the ground before it gets to that fringe. So that was just, trial 1. I'll try to make a slight adjustment. Pay attention that I kind of offset the needle when I was pulling straight up on the screen. There's a reason, because once I move to higher ground like that, it's going to cause the ball to launch beyond my target. So what that does is it actually offsets, and I actually end up adjusting a little bit shorter. It's the same thing as pulling straight up and then back towards the tee box right at the end. It's very equivalent to that, is what I end up doing, and it's basically on trajectory changes where I do that. So, hopefully that advice helps you. You can see my method. It's going to require just a little bit of tweaking. I'll try to get you a secondary revision for that. Otherwise, do check out my Royal Open tutorial. I ended up acing this in the Royal Open pretty much every time. This one and the hole before it. I think it's hole 6. I think there were holes 6 and 7 if I remember. It was a long time ago. But I believe they were 6 and 7, and they almost became automatic by the weekend. So if you can just make minor tweaks to that, just try to, focus on hitting the same fairway spot. You can kind of use that plus adjustment, if at all possible. For me, for example, I'm using a 214 club here. If your rock gets up to that level, you can also use a rock in terms of top spin. You see my top spin's right around 40. That's pretty much more or less or what you're going to want to use, at least 35. I didn't use full there on that shot. For those of you who are wondering, it was just a fraction less. I used just more than 3 bars. And you could see that it had enough topspin with a tailwind to get to that bend and also to have the momentum. Had it not gotten into that fringe there and just got caught up, it would have actually shot down right towards the hole. So I launched it by about 2 yards. That's all that happened. So if I could have replicated that, but 2 yards shorter, so that's what I'll try to tweak on the next revision. Good luck there, guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next hole.